All right, folks, I'm actually out here on the beach. I'm gonna do my best to hold the camera walking on the beach, but I don't know. I thought it would be probably time to have this little conversation on what it means, or what at least it used to be a man. When I was growing up, things were definitely a lot different. I think there was a silent man code that was happening, or at least happening at that time. You know, when your boy told you something and it was supposed to be a secret, it got kept a secret. Went to the gym to get muscles and masculine, and for the most part, that's what we did. If a guy was on steroids, honestly, it didn't matter. And I'll tell you why it didn't matter. It didn't matter because steroids are, for the most part, like an aid and helper. It doesn't give you muscles automatically. Some of the things I see, like with synthol, I would say probably outraged me a little bit more by a long shot than what people with the steroids do. Number one, the guys taking steroids nowadays probably have some sort of sixth sense that somehow, some way, their manlyhood is being robbed. And I can tell you 100% for a fact, with all the things out there as far as chemicals and estrogen, yes, your manhood is being robbed. Basically, you're being chemically castrated. I had a video up about that, and might have been one of the reasons they shut down my channel a while back. But anyway, a lot of the, I guess, young guys nowadays, I won't really say men because it's not really a man under my code, are having issues with these guys and them taking steroids. Never had an issue with guys taking steroids, because for the most part, again, steroids are just an aid. Steroids don't get your meals right. Steroids don't get you in the gym. Steroids don't make sure you sleep. Steroids don't make sure you sacrifice whatever it is you need to sacrifice in order to get the muscle on you, if that's what you think a lot of you guys do. Steroids are an aid, and only an aid, in basically building muscle and getting the testosterone up. I remember probably started lifting at about 16. A friend of mine, his name was, I know his name is Donnell Love before, but at some point in time he switched his last name. And he made a muscle at me. He started playing football. And I'm looking like, this little scrawny dude, it was like, how the hell did he get that little bicep on him? And from there, my little weight training journey started. Started lifting weights, got bigger, came back to school the next year, and my homeboy Donnell looked at me and said, "What the hell has your mama been feeding you?" And honestly, it was kind of weird. They have Burger King Whoppers on sale for 99 cents. And honestly, at that point in time, a lot of my diet consisted of Whoppers. So I thought that was kind of weird. But anyway, I basically worked at getting the muscle on. I never thought or even remotely expected or saw guys like using steroids and stuff. And I think I'm walking in somebody's like video or something like that, so I'm walking around. But I don't know, it used to be fun. Nowadays I think guys are probably a lot more concerned about other guys and what other guys are doing, and not enough about themselves and what they're doing. Why the hell do I care if this dude is on steroids? You know, I remember my first gym experience, and I'll remember it for the rest of my life. This is me and my friend Nato Bende, and I just call him Nate for short. He has an African name. Grew up with him in Detroit during high school, and he's been my only training partner at this point. I'll see if I can find a picture of him. I know I won't find it anytime soon because it's buried in a whole bunch of pictures. I know I was going through looking for pictures of me like with my shirt off back in the day. And I'll be frank with you, I remember one. Some people might have some somewhere of me at the beach or at the pool, but other than that, I didn't take off my shirt. I didn't have to. I'm pretty tall and it was a decent size. Everybody knew what was up under the shirt. Anyway, he and I basically made like a little pact. He was my training partner. We both said once we could bench at least 225 that we would get a membership to the Powerhouse Gym in Detroit. Well, I'll be frank with you, that didn't take too long. We got a membership to the Powerhouse Gym. Used to catch the bus back and forth to the Powerhouse Gym, and this is from like close to downtown Detroit to the official gym is in Highland Park, Michigan, but it's really only a block away from what is known as Detroit. And you know, it was an experience because the older guys welcomed in us as the younger guys. I didn't see anybody else in there our age. I think you needed to be at least 16, maybe even 17 in order to join. And you know, we went in, paid our money for our membership. A lot of the guys are like, welcome to Powerhouse. You know, if you have any questions, make sure you ask. Be careful with the equipment, and you know, just use common sense. And if you need to ask questions, ask. And I'll be honest with you, I got that from a lot of the guys when we went in there. Our first experience actually walking onto the gym floor was crazy, and I remember it to this day. He and a lot of guys were basically having a bench press contest. You see all kinds of money floating around, guys, and I'll be frank with you, minimum what we saw people bench was 4 plates, and they were going for reps with this 4 plates. And all these guys were freaking huge. Of course, me, I got a little bit of height, so you know, these guys weren't exactly short. They looked kind of like football players where they had height and size, which isn't really in bodybuilding. A lot of these guys have size but no height. So, you know, for me it was like an eye-opener. It's like, wow, you know, these guys. But a lot of them would stop and say, it was like, hey, if you guys have any questions about the stuff or equipment, you just make sure you ask somebody, because we don't want to see anybody hurt themselves here. Well, you know, I thought that was a good thing, because we walked around, and honestly, I'll be frank with you, some of the equipment, we had no idea what the hell it did. Like a neck machine. I haven't been to a gym in a very long time with things designed to work your neck. I know you can use the cable pulleys and stuff like that, but they had like a specific machine that was used to work the neck. And you know, I think a lot of the older guys have like a serious disconnect over the younger guys for, I don't know, a few reasons, and more or less it's the stuff that, I don't know, man, it's like, it's just trivial stuff I see folks like griping about, like real trivial. I mean, if you don't like the dude doing steroids, you don't have to do them, and if it's on YouTube, honestly, you don't have to watch him. We can't really tell who's on steroids and who's not unless you get specific tests. I mean, the fact of the matter is the amount of testosterone that guys have from one person to the next is going to vary in a major way. You know, if you stay away from soy and figure out where the extracurricular estrogen is coming from and figure out the foods to eat in order to keep your testosterone high, you know, honestly, you probably could be equivalent to some of the guys that are on steroids nowadays. And that's just being honest with what I see. And I don't know. I mean, I don't want to keep this video too long, but a lot of people fighting over a lot of trivial stuff. And that's one thing I can guarantee you this channel is going to be. I'm not griping with the other dudes. That's just not going to happen. They do whatever the hell they want to do. You know, I'm sure we all have our different opinions on how to put muscle on and stuff like that. And, you know, I watch some of the, actually, the majority of the channels I watch as far as fitness have to do with watching the older guys and some of what they experienced, and just having memories of what I experienced back in the day. Too much, I don't know, going back and forth about stuff that honestly in my mind just doesn't matter. So, I don't know. Other than that, folks, I'll keep to myself. Those of you who have sent off emails to me just saying simple thank yous of, you know, putting up real information, I'll continue to do so. It probably won't be as fast as it was before, because I just put up a lot of information just recently, and I need to basically go through, add thumbnails, try to find the links for these things and stuff like this. But this channel will be different. I will be talking about real stuff and doing real things. Thanks for watching.